there's a search bar at the top, and you can search for different jobs, and you can pick the different location that you want to search for. After you search for jobs, it'll say because jobs you may be interested in. So other jobs will pop up when you log in that are most current and relative to your searches in the past. When you get that premium version, the premium version is going to give you a lot additional data. So the data that it's going to give you is it's going to tell you that you're in the top 10% of people that have applied. It's going to say 100 people applied for this job, 3 people did. So you kind of know where you're at. The cool thing is you get to see who posted a job. So that means you can connect and talk to that person directly who posted and shared the job, who's part of the company. What else? You can find, it's got its own messenger. So a lot of times, my previous students will message me on LinkedIn, and that's a way that they keep in contact with me and message back and forth on LinkedIn when they have questions about something. They'll tell you who's your network. They'll tell you who viewed your profile. The thing with LinkedIn is a good site to go on and see people's profiles professionally, but it will notify people and let them know that you view their profile. That's what it's there for. But when you want to creep, they're going to know that you creep on them. You know what I mean? So you need to go on Facebook. When you want to do that research on someone and their past and all that, it's time to find those commonalities between you. Search Facebook galore or Google the person. Sometimes they might show up. Actually, Google it yourself and see what shows up too. Make sure Google yourself on even images and see what photos pop up. Because sometimes, for whatever reasons, certain photos will get pulled from your past that will show type images. And maybe they're not photos that you want. So, right, this is the website that you're going to go to when you want your free and premium version. So the premium version, I want to say it's $30 a month normally, and you get a year for free. LinkedIn is always free, so you have to go create your own free profile. Then you go onto the site and do this one. And I would say don't do it until you're going to be active on LinkedIn. So you know you are. You're only going to get a year, so you might as well make the most of that year on there. But yeah, you always have to create that free version first. And the free version is great. This one's just going to give you more options so that you can message people directly. So on LinkedIn, you have to be friends with someone to message them on the free version. On this premium version, you don't have to be friends with them, you can message them directly. The thing is, when you message people, you want to message them and point out commonalities that you have between you guys before you start that conversation. In fact, one of my favorite podcasts is called The School of Greatness. Does anyone listen to that podcast? No? It's a really good podcast. You do? You? Man. Yes, you do? So Lewis House? Okay, so former pro football player, and then now he has amazing speakers and professionals that come out and he interviews them. And he actually just interviewed the FBI guy. Well, it was a while ago, but I find out so many awesome new people to follow from listening to his podcast. It's really good. So anyways, he got started on LinkedIn when he hurt himself and was done playing football. He would talk about when he was on his sister's couch. I always share that story, doing nothing. He was started with LinkedIn and learned all about LinkedIn. And what he found is he had this amazing network because he would connect different people to other people. But what he said he did was he would message people and he would point out 3 things he had in common with them before even starting a conversation with them. Like, hey, I noticed that we have this in common, this in common, this in common. Wanted to see if after he did that, they were more likely to talk to him and continue a relationship with him. So the biggest feedback that I hear about LinkedIn from people is that they get really annoyed that people message them and they're just like, hey, can you help me with this? Can you introduce me to this person? But there's nothing that's linking them together and they feel really needy. So if you point out commonalities, it's going to build that bond between you guys before you ask for something. So I think that's a big, he says that's why he's been so successful and has an amazing network. It's because of pointing out commonalities. All right. Professional introduction time. So you all need to be able to answer that question, tell me about yourself. Because it's one of the most commonly asked interview questions. Or, when you meet someone for the first time and they're like, what do you do? Tell me about you. Does anyone struggle with that, answering that question? You kind of feel should I go on forever? Should I go back to when I was a baby to now?
Yeah.
But you don't know how to simplify it. So this is something that a lot of people struggle with. It's often called the elevator pitch. Has anyone ever heard of it that way?
Yeah.
So it's like a short, condensed version of how you answer that question, like what do you do? Or you meet someone for the first time, how do you quickly let them know about you? So I'm going to teach you guys a formula. The book has, you know how the book is really good about going and dragging on things, and really you can simplify it. So I'm going to simplify it for you my way. You still have the option to do what's in the book, but I'm going to teach you how to do it my way. So let's turn to your book on page 53.